So, hey, this is Stacia, and well, I'm excited to share this tournament game with you all. So, spoiler alert, I guess, right? But I play this at the Parma Chess Club against Jeffrey Geminian. He's been a tough opponent for me in the past, um, so I was very curious how he would react to my brand new repertoire and to my new skills I've been sharpening over the last 2 years. So I had the white pieces and I played one e4. He went with the Sicilian defense, pawn to c5, and of course I played d4, the Smith-Morra gambit. So he did take once, and here he took again. So we have our Smith-Morra gambit, and now I was very curious how he might defend against this, because Black has to kind of know what they're doing. If they don't know what they're doing and they develop aimlessly, they get almost always crushed. And I have memorized a lot of that stuff. So I was kind of hoping he wouldn't know what to do, but let's see. He went e6. That's fine. Knight to f3, a6. So this is sort of the Con-Sicilian setup against the Morra. They call it the Paulson formation. Bishop c4. I gotta enable. Okay. Okay, knight to c6. That's a normal move. Castles. And now b5. This is one way to defend. I dropped my bishop back. There's no knight d5 or bishop d5 yet. And now bishop to c5. So this is the first move that I thought was a little bit weird. Usually if you're going to play this way, it's because you want to play knight e7, but you want the bishop out first. And it's a very time-sensitive plan. You're trying to castle as quickly as possible, so it doesn't include things like a6 and b5. So I actually was a little suspicious here. Also, after my Cleveland Open game against, I think his name was Patrick Boenger. His last name was definitely Boenger. If you haven't seen that game, check it out on my channel. It's under tournament games. It was a Cleveland Open round 2. That game I had a Smith-Morra, and he was an expert, like 2000 rated. And he did play this very topical system of, what did he play it? Oh, he played knight e7 without bringing the bishop out. And so I recently looked at games in lines with knight e7. And so I did study this game with a brilliant middle game idea by Mark Esserman. So to explain this properly, okay, knight c6, castles. Black can try to go knight e7, and the idea is to go knight g6, and then, bishop e7 and castles, and be totally safe, and just be up a pawn. So that's sort of the idea. Now, if they go knight e7 right away, bishop g5 is annoying, because it pins the knight's blocking the bishop, it sort of disrupts Black's development, and they have to do like h6 or f6, and we put our bishop on the best square, and then we work with the resulting weaknesses. So that's my normal way of dealing with this. But there's lines where they bring the bishop out first. So in this game, when he brought the bishop out first, I was expecting knight e7, and this is where the new idea came in. e5. Bishop g5 wouldn't be as good against knight e7 anymore, by the way, because Black would just castle. I mean, it doesn't really disrupt anything, Black can castle. The bishop is outside. So this move e5 is very interesting. The idea is clearance. We're going to put our knight on e4. We're going to attack the bishop, but we're also going to attack this hole on d6, which might come with check. And otherwise, the knight is, you know, sort of a monster there. So when he played bishop b7, I was like, wow, because I think knight e7 is the best move. And I went here attacking the bishop. Bishop e7 is forced, right? Because if you drop back this way, check. I don't think anybody wants to suffer that check. So bishop e7. I mean, I'm actually wondering if bishop f8 is best to put the knight on e7. But okay. I figured black's spending a lot of tempos. I probably have time to accomplish queen e2, rook d1, which is a very nice setup for me. He played f6. Yeah, and who can blame him? I do recall that the computer found like a really creative way to play this part of the game. Oh, I think f5 the computer likes. Yeah, f5 is a little better because I don't really want to take and help black untangle. And here I would probably go like this, and then, yeah, the computer gave this, if I recall. And I attack your queen, you attack my queen, and this is actually equal. But that's hard to see, I think. So if that's the only defense that black has, is something that's kind of difficult to see, then it means black's sort of going wrong, which is pretty obvious, right? All right, so f6, rook d1, I definitely do not want to take. And he took my pawn. I was very happy to see that because, I mean, it's clear what he wants to do. He wants to put his knight on f6. It does make sense, but it's just that all of this is a little too slow. So also I have this move, bishop takes e6. Yeah, so rook d1, you know, creates a pin down the d file. I mean, what should he do though? I have no clue. I guess I'll ask the engine really quick. Engine says go queen to b8. Okay, it's unpinning. That's what that move is. So now I can't really just take that off, but I can. I have lots of moves now from here though. Weight is still much better. All right. But here I took on e6. Bishop to c8. Yeah, once again, it's hard not to blame him because what else do you do? Like I kept thinking I could criticize him in this analysis, but I really can't because I can't suggest a better move. I have no clue. The computer sometimes does, but all right. So I went ahead with this move. I had some different options in this position. I have knight d6 check. I have knight e to g5, knight f to g5. I also have just bishop g5. Yeah, but I decided on this one because I want to open up my queen so I can check on h5. And I thought if he takes, you know, I'm here, I'm threatening that, and I'm threatening that, and I'll get my last piece out maybe. I could do that too. So this all looked good. Okay, so he's protecting f7. Now check. King f8 only move. Yeah, and here I played one of the winning moves. If you want to pause your video and try to determine the best move, go ahead and do so now, and I will let you know what it is. Okay, in the game, I played knight takes h7 check, which I thought was just a crusher, but I did miss something. Lucky for me, it still wins. But the best move in the position is bishop to d5. Yeah, just a calm retreating move. Just like, hey, like, we're not going to worry about this pin, and we're not going to allow black to sack their queen. And the knight is pinned to the rook. And if we do take it, this pawn is not a very good defender because they would still lose the queen. So bishop d5 A very, very cool move. Very cool resource. And on top of that, it clears this square, which might be important at some point. So, let's go back. Okay, I played knight takes knight takes h7, check. He has to take with a rook. There's no other move. And then bishop takes h6. So I'm just going to mate him. Like, if this, checkmate. So he has to take with a pawn here, I thought. And that is the best move. And I was analyzing with some stronger players later, and yeah, they weren't convinced that white was winning here. And I'm only confident now because I've checked with the computer. But yeah, I mean, what do you do from here? Well, the only move is queen g6, which we did try. That would attack the rook and kind of force rook to g7. But now what to do, right? I mean, computer says queen takes h6 actually is not very good. It's just kind of equalish. We have to go queen f5 check, king e8, and then play that bishop d5 move. Now the position is winning. All right, so in the game, though, he played this move, queen to e8, trying desperately to trade queens. So here I did find a cute little winning tactic. There's actually two of them. I played bishop takes g7 check. And this is nice. If he takes the bishop, I win the queen. So he really shouldn't do that. But he actually showed us the best move. So I figured he would take with the rook. But now I have this nice little check. There's only one way to block, and that is checkmate. So I was pretty happy with this game. It's not often I violently checkmate somebody and sack all my pieces, but that was fun. So I hope you enjoyed the game, and I'll be back with more. Thank you. Bye.